Hey Manduka Nation, thank you very much for coming by and practicing with me online. It'll be more important that you can hear me well than see me well during the course of this, so why don't you get yourself set up for that? Take child's pose and we'll look to get started in just a second. So starting in child's pose will take a few minutes just to get your breathing moving through your nose, right in through your nostrils and then back out through your nostrils. A little space across the back of your throat and a sense of depth to your breathing that is mostly a matter of slowing your breathing down a little bit. When you're breathing really fully, you'll feel your whole body rise and fall. That's a good sign that your breath is really accessing your body. But more than anything, just notice that the more you focus on your breathing, the harder it is to focus on anything else. Your thoughts start to slow down, which helps your body start to settle down. And you get a little clearer, right? You can hear your own voice, and you can see your own thoughts, and you can feel your own heart. And that's the whole idea, right? We'll start to move around a little bit, but we'll keep this at the center of all of it. A long, deep breath. That brings you into yourself little by little. Everybody staying in child's pose more or less. Let's take your hands and just walk them to the left. Just walk them far enough that you feel a bit of a stretch down the right side rib cage. And once you pick a spot, we'll just go back to breathing. And let the breathing itself do the work of creating space and releasing tension. And then everybody, let's take your hands and walk them over to the right side, please. Same idea. Find a spot that feels nice in the left side rib cage. Inhales carry in space, and then exhales carry out tension. And then everybody now back to center, please. Let's take a long draw in child's pose, fingertips sliding towards the front edge of the mat and then tailbone drawing back. So there's a sense of length down the sideways. And everybody with an exhale, come up to child's pose, to hands and knees, please. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, everybody. Taking it now, cow pose, please. Drop your belly, lift your heart. Pull the shoulders back a little bit, spread the collarbones, and then exhale, round your spine, please. Cat pose, tuck your tail, tuck your chin. And then inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Everybody inhale, walk your hands forward, please, but keep your hips over your knees. You're gonna come to a kneeling down dog or like a kneeling child's pose. So just keep walking hands forward, 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 forward. Let your heart sink towards the ground. Yeah, you can even put your forehead down if that feels nice. For some of you who are very open in the shoulders, you can look forward, rest your chin on the ground, and that will allow your heart to drop a little deeper. If you'd like to get a little further into the shoulders, a couple big breaths. You keep a little pull back in the hips, just like you would in down dog. Belly button into the spine. And then everybody with an exhale, let's come back up onto hands and knees, please. Couple more cat and cows on your own, everybody. And then if there's any other way that you like to move your spine around, please feel free. It's a good time to also get a little space in your wrists. You can change your hand position, either fingers out or fingers back. And just kind of put a little stretch into the wrists. Good. And then everybody, let's plant the hands very firmly with the fingers forward. Put a little lift in your knees. So you pick your knees up off the ground, just an inch or so. I want you to feel how when your knees come off the floor, how active your abdomen is, right? The abdomen kind of gets strong, lifts up against the spine. From here, keep that sense of strength in the abs and just step your feet back in a plank pose, please. Push-up position. And then once you have your legs extended back there, put a little lift in your shins too, and that will help the back end of you stay a little lighter. And then everybody moving from the core, please, let's tilt the hips up and back, down dog pose. Good. Couple big breaths in this first down dog. Feel free to move around a little bit, right? Bend your knees, sway your hips, you can roll your neck, all of that. Just kind of take the superficial tension off of you. Once you settle into dog, you're going to want to make sure your palms are pretty flat on the mat, roots of each finger deep on the ground. Heels are sinking. They don't have to touch down. Definitely don't force them down, but let them fall a little bit into gravity. Equal distribution of weight in the hands and the feet. If you feel like you're in your arms a lot, bend your knees a little bit, and that'll help you get your hips back. And it'll help you shift your weight towards center a little bit. Good. Everybody, last big inhale here, please. Hips reach up and back. And then with an exhale, forward again into plank pose, push-up position. Take an inhale to get that little sense of lift in the core and in the shins. And then with an exhale, you can bend your elbows, pitch forward and lower down, chaturanga. This one can go all the way to the ground if you like. You can flip your toes to the back. And with an inhale, peel your heart forward in cobra, a couple breaths in cobra. See if you can make this a lot more about lifting your chest and a lot less about pressing with your hands, right? Good. And then everybody with an exhale, tuck your toes. Use your abs to lift your hips up and back, down dog posture, please. See if you can let your neck hang, right? Back of the neck is wrinkle free. You want to reach long through your arms, but plug your upper arms back into your shoulders gently as sides of the neck hang easy. Good. Inhale, everybody, hips rise. Exhale, look forward, walk, float, or fly, both feet, top of the mat. Good. Inhale, halfway up, long, flat back, and then exhale, fold back down. And inhale, rise all the way tall. Sweep the arms up in the sky. Lift high with the sides of the waist. And then exhale, drop the hands to prayer, please. And inhale, arms sweep back up tall. You can reach up high. And then exhale, you'll swan dive back down to the toes. Please, everybody, release the spine. And then inhale, glance halfway up, lengthen. And exhale, fold, step back, lower down, chaturanga, strengthening. Inhale, heart forward, cobra or up dog, leading with the heart either way. And then exhale, down dog, please. And long, deep breaths, and especially as your body starts to demand more oxygen, see if you can feed it by breathing deeper instead of breathing faster. And inhale, everybody, left leg, please, up and back behind you. Keep the left leg in the air up there. Bend your left knee, roll your hip open, left hip on top of right hip. Feel free to spin the ankle or bend the knee back and forth, whatever feels good for your joints. Go ahead and put that kind of movement in there. And then let's take one more inhale and see if you can peel the belly button open to the left just a hair further. And then exhale, kneecap to nose, tiger. Good. Left foot will step between your palms, please, everybody. And with an inhale, crescent pose, please. Rise up high. Wonderful. Balance your weight over both of your legs, right? There's a strong tendency to lean into your front leg. So make sure you're using both your legs. Once you do that, it's a lot easier to sit up a little taller in the spine, lift out of the low belly. You're going to take an inhale, roll your heart up a little gently to the sky, big inhale. And then exhale, everybody, fingertips come down to the ground. You'll step forward, please, right foot next to the left foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, flat back, continuing on with Surya A. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, please, everybody. Sweep up into the sky. And then exhale, drop your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Inhale, arms sweep back up tall. Exhale, you're going to dive and fall back down to the toes. Marvelous. Inhale, everybody, halfway up. Exhale, fold, step back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, bhujangasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog, please. Good. Inhale, everybody, right leg, please, up and back behind you. Keep the right leg in the air, bend the knee, roll the hip open, right? Stacking the right hip on top of the left. You can try to open the hips as much as you can, and try not to open the chest if you can help it. And then by last big inhale here, exhale, right knee to chest. A little squeeze, right foot will step up between the palms, please. And with an inhale, you're going to rise up, high lunge, please, crescent posture. Good. Squeeze the hips together lightly, especially if you're kind of wobbling laterally. That'll help to stabilize your hips. All right, distribution of weight over both feet, a lot of lift out of the pubic bone. Right? Low belly is tall, helping the tailbone to fall. And then one big inhale here, the heart rolls up to the sky. And then with an exhale, everybody, fingers back down to the mat. You're going to step up to the front, left foot next to right. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, please fold. Inhale, rise, everybody, reach all the way up tall. And then exhale, drop your hands to prayer, please, in front of your heart. Inhale, arms sweep back up. Utthita Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold, swan diving to the toes. Inhale, half reach, please, everybody. Exhale, fold. Step back, find your way back to down dog. And I will keep cueing vinyasa as we go along, but please feel free to skip a vinyasa at any time. Skip them all if you like. Feel free to skip any posture. Feel free to modify, add variations. Feel free to very much make this your own practice. The only thing I'd ask is that you keep breathing at the center of all of it. Inhale, everybody, hips reach back. End of the exhale, look forward, please. Walk or float, both feet, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, dive back down. Drop your bum, bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose, please. Utkatasana. Good. You don't have to sit low, but you do want to feel like you're going to sit. So your weight is going down through your sit bones. Try to avoid leaning into your knees. Once you have the feeling of sit, see if you can sit a little lower by doing less. Just let your hips kind of fall into gravity. And instead, put your effort into keeping your low belly tall. Good. Everybody, last big inhale here. With an exhale, you're going to sit all the way down to the ground, please, and have boat pose, Navasana. Good. Press your palms together in front of you. Keep your elbows straight. See if you can lift your spine a little taller. Good. And everybody, with an inhale, come halfway down, Ardha Navasana. Lower back touches the ground, but the shoulder blades stay off the floor if you can help it. And with an exhale, come back up, full boat pose. Good. And just two more of those. Inhale, halfway down. And then exhale, back up. And then inhale, halfway down. And then exhale, back up. Good. Keep your palms together and then take your arms as far to the left as they will go. So you're rotating at the waist. And then see if you can pick your left butt cheek up off the floor. So you're kind of balancing on the outer right side butt cheek. And then same idea. See if you can come halfway down and then come back up. And we'll do two more of those. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, back up. Inhale. Good. Exhale. And then other side, everybody. You're going to lean onto the left butt cheek. Take your arms to the right. Halfway down. Back up. Halfway. Back up. Try to keep the thighs together. That'll help a lot. Halfway. And then back up. And then everybody back to center. Last three. If you need to take a break, but don't quit. Take your break and come back. Halfway down. Back up. Good. Inhale. Back up. Last one. Inhale. Good. Back up. Everybody cross your legs in front of you. Sit up tall. And just close your eyes for a second. Have a couple big breaths. Last big inhale here. Exhale, everybody. Blink your eyes open. Put your palms down on the ground and step yourself back either into down dog, or if you'd like to take the vinyasa, please feel free. Marvelous. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, everybody, left foot steps all the way up to the top of the mat. Good. Inhale, crescent pose, please. Rise high. Good. Just a little lift at the top of the inhale. With an exhale, drop your hands to prayer. You're going to twist to the left, please. Twisting crescent. Right elbow hooks over the front knee. Good. Take a moment and lengthen through the back leg. And once you get the back leg long, it's a little easier to carry the spine long in the opposite direction, right? Spine is lengthening towards the front of the room. Long spine creates space for the twist, right? You can turn your waist a little more, lift your heart a little bit towards the prayer of your hands. Last big inhale here, keep the twist, but look at the ground, please, everybody. You're gonna step into twisting chair. Shift your weight into your front foot and go ahead and step up there. Once you're up there, you wanna look for the feeling of sit in your seat. Maybe pull the hips back a little bit to get into it. There you go. You can still keep the elbow hooked over the knee and then a little length in the spine. Last big inhale. Exhale, everybody, forward fold, please. Good. Inhale, glance halfway up. Good. Exhale, everybody, fold, please. Step just the right foot to the back of the mat. And then spin your right foot flat back there. And then take an inhale, come up, warrior one. Good. Once you're up, you might want to take the feet and separate them a little bit wider laterally. In warrior one, I find that a little space laterally allows the hips to come around a lot easier. Right? You're looking to square the hips off to the front of the room as best as you can. Good. And once you have that figured out, drop your hands behind your back, please, everybody. Interlace your fingers. Good. Lift your pubic bone in and up. And then start to curl your heart towards the sky. Let your shoulders drop back a little bit, knuckles falling down inside that back thigh. And then with an exhale, everybody, chest to front thigh. Humble warrior, or at least the beginnings of it, right? Take a moment and check in with the back leg, reach it long. And then if you're comfortable, you can drop your left rib cage inside the thigh. Go a little deeper, head hangs towards the floor. Arms reaching gently overhead, stretching the shoulders. Good. And then everybody with an inhale, let's come on back up into warrior one, please. Beautiful. Exhale, open up warrior two. Good. Warrior two, you want to take the back foot, front foot and wiggle it towards center again. You want your feet now more or less lined up down the center of your mat. Heel to heel or heel to arch, depending on what your hips are happy with. Sit into it a little bit. See if you can go a little deeper by doing a little less. Yeah, let gravity pull on you. Beautiful. Inhale, reverse warrior, please, everybody. Right hand on the right leg. Good. Left arm sweeps up and back. Get a big lift out of your front hip crease and then let that rise up into your rib cage, a little space in the rib cage. Marvelous. Good, everybody, keep the ribs pulling back. Let the front thigh drift forward just a hair. Good. And then keep the arms still pulling back. You're going to straighten your front leg, please. Reverse triangle. Good. One long pull from front toes to back fingers. And then with an exhale, come up to vertical. Keep the arms wide. Setting up for regular triangle, you'll shift the hips towards the back wall. Good. Let the left fingers reach way out over the toes. And then let's drop the left fingers to the shin. Right arm up to the sky. Try not to be in a big rush to go real low. You might even want to start with the bottom hand a little high, and then you can open up. Good. Kind of lean back as if there's a wall behind you. Space across the chest, across the abdomen, across the hips. A sense of firmness in the feet, a sense of tall in your thighs, like your thigh bones are sort of plugging up into your hip sockets. Let's take one more big inhale here, everybody. With an exhale, look at the ground. You're going to step up into half moon, please. All right, so rock up onto the front foot. Left finger's about 12 inches in front of those bottom toes. Same sense of openness as in triangle pose, right? Sense of expansion across the core of your body. It helps a lot to draw the back leg long, right? And then use the length of the back leg to carry the spine forward a little bit. And the bottom fingers start to get a little lighter. Maybe the bottom fingers even float up off the floor. Last big inhale. Exhale, soft step back into warrior two, please. Fantastic. Good. Big inhale, warrior two, everyone. With an exhale, front elbow to the front knee, please, dropping into side angle posture. Right arm up to the sky. Good. Little length through the back leg and then a little drift into the front thigh. And if you'd like, you can put the bottom fingers on the ground. And we'll take the top arm, wrap it behind the back, side angle half bound. And if you'd like the full bind, you're more than welcome to it. You can snake the left arm under the left thigh. Good. Whatever you do in the arms, look for some length in the spine, right? Carry your rib cage forward, away from your back foot. And then everybody peel your belly button open with one last inhale, as if you're trying to peel your belly button to the ceiling. And then exhale, bring both hands to the ground inside your front foot. Put your back knee down, please. We'll take a lizard pose for a couple breaths. You can slide that back knee back. Carry the heart forward with a big inhale, and then exhale. We'll see if we can drop the rib cage inside the thigh. Maybe left elbow goes to the floor. If the elbow doesn't get all the way down, just let it hang down. Doesn't have to touch anything. If the left elbow does get down, maybe the right elbow can also. Mostly though, let your head hang down. The softness of your body tends to follow the state of your head. So if your head is easy, your body will start to get easy. Good. And everybody, let's tuck your back toes. We're going to pick up your back knee. I'm going to have you step back in a plank pose, please. Push-up position. And from here, everybody, bring your feet together. Roll onto the outer edge of the right foot and take the left arm up. Side plank, please. Take any variation of this that you like. But whatever variation you're doing, check on three things. One, make sure that your right rib cage is lifting so you're kind of tall off of that bottom arm. Two, see if you make sure your top hip stays on top. It tends to fall back. Yeah. And then three, make sure you're breathing. Big deep breaths. Let's take one more inhale here. And on the next, everybody, left hand down to the floor. Vinyasa, if you'd like it, or straight back to dog on your own time. Couple big breaths and down dog, please. And then everybody now, right leg, please, sweeps up and back behind you. On the exhale, we'll step the right foot all the way up between the palms, please. You take an inhale, rise up in a crescent pose, high lunge. And hips hug together lightly, and with an exhale, drop the hands to prayer. You're going to twist to the right side, left elbow over the right knee. And keep the back leg really energetically long. It doesn't matter if it's straight or not, but you want to keep it alive. Maybe even a little lift in that back thigh. Good. Heart lifts a little bit to the right, right, like it's trying to rise up to the level of your prayer hands. Perfect. And you're going to keep the twist, but you're going to look at the ground. Shift your weight into your front foot and have a gentle step up into twisting chair pose. Good. Hips draw back a little bit. Knees and toes still point forward. You can sit into a little bit if you're comfortable. And then just last couple breaths. A little lift of the waist to the right, a little rise of the heart to the right. Last big inhale, everybody. And then exhale, forward fold, please. Drop your head. Good. Inhale, glance halfway up. Exhale, fold, please. Step just the left foot to the back of the mat. Everybody setting up for warrior one. You'll spin your back foot flat. Maybe even separate the feet a little bit laterally now while you're still down. And then whenever you're ready, you'll take an inhale and rise up in a first warrior. Yeah, it's a lot harder to turn the hips forward to the front of the room in warrior one, but that's still the direction that they're moving. Helps a lot to reach through the whole back leg. Now let's drop your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers the opposite way that you had them before. Let the knuckles back there fall towards the floor, then curl the heart up towards the sky. Big inhale, lifting the chest towards the chin. And then with an exhale, chest to thigh in front. First stage of humble warrior, right? See if you can make sure your hips are still squaring off to the front of the room. And then if you're comfortable, you can drop your rib cage inside your thigh. Let your head hang towards the floor and catch a little reach here through the biceps. All right, especially you guys who are leaning quite a bit forward, make sure you anchor back through that back leg, and that'll take away that feeling of like you're going to tip over. Good. Last little reach with the arms. You'll take an inhale, everybody rise back up in warrior one. And with an exhale, open up warrior two, please. Adjust the feet, line them up down the middle of the mat, either heel to heel or heel to arch. Take a moment to let your hips settle a little bit. Hips, in theory, are just hanging at the bottom of the spine, directly under the shoulders. And everybody inhale, reverse. Left hand on the left leg, right arm's going to sweep up and back. You catch a little rise out of the front hip crease and then let that run up the entire right side of your body. Good. Front thigh will drift forward little by little, creating a little sense of traction. Good. And everybody keep the right arm pulling back. Just straighten the front leg, reverse triangle. We'll take one full breath here. Long from the front toes to the rear fingers. And then with an exhale, let's come up to vertical, arms wide, and set up for regular triangle pose here. Hips rock towards the back, right fingers way out over the toes. We'll drop the fingers to the shin, left arm up to the sky. Take a moment to get wide before you start thinking about low, right? Lean your shoulder blades back into an imaginary wall. If you feel like you're going to tip over, press very firmly into the root of your front big toe. And you can lean back quite a bit, and that's going to keep you anchored. Good. Face of the hips open. Keep all this openness, everybody. Just look at the ground. Let's shift up into half moon, please. Right finger is about 12 inches in front of your right toes. And you have a little step up into half moon pose. Good, right? You can reach the top arm up to the sky, definitely, but this posture is mostly controlled by the hips. When you feel like you can't open the hips anymore, if you take your bottom hip and hug it in a little bit under the top hip, that'll give you a little more space. It'll help that bottom foot to sit. Lengthen the spine towards the front of the room. Maybe the bottom fingers get a little light. Maybe they come up off the floor. Last big inhale here. Exhale, soft step back, warrior two, please. Take a moment to set your feet in warrior two. Take an inhale, tall in your spine, and then exhale, front elbow to the front knee, please. Side angle, left arm up to the sky. Good. Reach through the whole back leg, sit a little bit into the front thigh. And then if you got room for more, bottom fingers can go to the floor. Good. Top arm behind the back, everybody, half bind. If you have room for the full bind, feel free. Whatever you're doing with the arms, continue to lengthen your spine gently over your front knee. Good. Soft peel of the belly button towards the ceiling. It won't move very much, but just going in that direction. And then with an exhale, everybody release both hands inside your front foot. Back knee on the ground, setting up for a lizard pose, please. You can square your hips off. Slide your back knee back a bit. Carry the heart forward, lengthen the spine. With an exhale, right elbow starts to fall, maybe it touches down. You can follow with the left elbow if that makes sense for you. Ultimately, it's not about either elbow touching the ground, though. You just mostly want to soften. And the key to depth is surrender. And everybody from here, let's take it now. Come back up onto your hands, please. Step yourself back into plank pose. Take a moment to firm up through the middle, and then let's bring the feet together, roll onto the outer edge of the left foot, and take the right arm up for side plank. Good. Reach the right arm up tall. See if you can lift the bottom ribs a little bit. Get up out of the left shoulder, out of the bottom shoulder. Stack the hips. Good. Take one more big inhale like this, and with the exhale, let's put your right hand down. You can get right into vinyasa or step straight back to dog. Good. Everybody inhale, please. Hips reach up and back. With an exhale, let's put your knees down on the mat, please. Cross your ankles behind you, sit your butt past your feet. And let's take Cobblers pose, please, everybody. And bring the soles of your feet together. Knees wide, sit bones square on the ground. Catch all your toes with both your hands. See if you can sit your lower back up a little taller. Big inhale. And then with an exhale, you'll fold forward, please, over your feet. Should feel more like you're trying to reach your kidneys to your toes. Less like you were trying to touch your head to the ground, right? You really want to try to go out instead of down. If you're very comfortable, you can walk your hands out in front of you. Couple big breaths. And by a little draw forward from the low back, a little pull wide in the knees. Come on back up to the top, please. Use your hands to bring your knees together like you're closing a book. Cool. And everybody from here, you can roll back onto your back. You can bring your knees into your chest, roll yourself around a little bit. And then let's plant your feet for bridge pose. You lift your hips, clasp your hands together underneath you. Roll your shoulders under you. Good. Draw your arms towards your heels so the sides of your neck lengthen. And then lift your heart up and back towards your chin. Right? You can push with your feet, you can lift with your thighs and your hips, but mostly we're going to reach the chin or reach the chest up and back towards the chin. Anybody would like to take wheel? You have a couple breaths. If you'd like to go a little deeper into the full back bend, please feel free. And then everybody, last big inhale here, please reaching your heart up and back. And then exhale, you can let your hips come back down to the mat softly. Sway your knees a couple times side to side, please, everybody. And then let's bring your knees into your chest, give them a hug, roll yourself around a little bit. Good. Left arm out to the left side, please, everybody. Right hand outside the left knee. Take a big inhale. Exhale, both knees over to the right, please, everybody. Take a look out over your left fingertips. And close your eyes for a couple breaths. Everybody now, knees back into the chest. And switch sides. Right arm out to the right, left hand outside the right knee. Take a big inhale. On the next exhale, knees will fall to the left. You look out over the right fingertips. Close your eyes. A few deep breaths. And everybody, knees back into the heart. Give both knees a hug. Roll yourself around one last time. And then let's wrap you up into a little ball, everyone, facing the knees, chest and the thighs, arms around the shins. Take a big old inhale and squeeze yourself really strong and really deep and really tight. And then with an exhale, let it all go into Savasana. Right, legs down in front, arms by the sides, palms face the sky. And close your eyes for a little while. Long, deep breaths in the space of a little stillness. It's amazing what you can hear when you make a little time to listen.